Greetings everyone, my name is Adderville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In tonight's live stream, I'll be covering the level pack MMX-MM, designed by Dave the Loser. I actually played several of Dave the Loser's level packs in the past, about 6 or 7 of them, the Mega Man Unknown series. So let's see how better it is than that compared to that. They specifically requested me to play it using the Mega Man X mod, so here I am doing so. This level pack consists of an intro stage, 8 Maverick stages, and 4 fortress levels. So let's start by going through the intro stage. Intro stage, hope you enjoy, tried my best, X mod please. 36 plays, score of 8. For the looks of it, this will be a rather short stream as well, so keep that in mind. I'm going to be playing as both X and Roll. So welcome to the stream of Patio, Snivy, Jabman, Jaden, Lunar Chris, Pixel Boy, Minubi, all the watchers on Twitch, and anyone else who I missed. If it's really short, I'll just cover the next level pack in the series. My main issue with Mega Man Unknown is that the levels ended way too soon. They are half the length they should have been, and because they're half the length, they didn't really properly establish any level tropes. Happy New Year to everyone. I'll introduce these in reverse. Introduce the spike ceiling first, then the fans. You know how downwards fans are. It is. It's mostly an unknown one, no pun intended. It's also going to be a shorter stream because there aren't going to be any streams tomorrow. I have other commitments. Easy first boss as usual, but really, you should have not taken this much damage as such. Yeah, first stage. Okay, here's a selection of 8 Mavericks. Optic Orchid, Metal Crocodile, Thundershock Wasp, Scorching Sheep, Force Scorpion, Frost Kraken, Acid Swamptoad, and Crystal Scarab. Because of how short these series are going to be, I'll pick the order. And because I want to continue listening to this awesome track, I'll be going after Thundershock Wasp at the Electric City first. 14 play, score of 2. I'm not sure if it's not knows the level. Well, that's part of the reason. Okay, we can only have 4 E-tanks, and here is a selection of weapons. Fine. My main issue with Dave's level packs is, well, they don't know in one way. The other thing is that they don't really listen to our feedback. We said multiple times throughout the Unknown series of how the levels really need to be longer and explore the mechanics more, but that never seems to go true. We play as both X and, I suppose, Zero. Okay. You may want to fix the background on the left, fill it in with something. Right now it looks a bit awkward. Also, to answer your other question, Jaden, I'm quickly compiling the list of keys I have. In order to speed up the process, I'll only include the name of the game, developer, publisher, and genre. Will that be sufficient? Where is the crash lift? Yeah, that's not good design. You should put more crash lifts so we don't have to wait as long. As you saw, I have to wait at least 30 seconds. To repeat, in my list of key games which I'll send to you by tomorrow or Monday, Jaden, I'll include the name of the game, developer, publisher, and genre. Good. I'll include everything, or just about everything from 2021 and 2020. And I'll only include the keys that I immediately have access to, not stuff which I have to manually request exactly. And I will not include any of the paid offers. Sponsorships are something I don't want to get into yet. Yeah, there really should have been at least 2 or 3 of them. Mini boss time. Easy, but again, reaching him can be a bit of a problem damageless. Reaching and attacking. Still, that's a bit too short for a halfway point again. And what is this stage's main gimmick anyways? Is this supposed to be crash lifts? Because if that's the case, it should be used much more heavily, especially in the second half of the stage. A bit too easy for my taste. In general, I'll avoid paid sponsorships for now. That may open a can of worms which I don't want to open right now. Or is the stage's main gimmick using the wheel cutter? If that's the case, it's actually using it somewhat. Still, the stages are too short. Compare this to pretty much the half dozen level packs I played before this, and all the suggestions we said. Even if the stage was this short, what was the main gimmick anyways? If it's the crash lifts or even the wheel cutter, it was barely utilized. And this boss fight's too easy. Okay, phase 2, that's fine. Now it's actually somewhat difficult. As I was saying, gimmicks were barely used and elaborated on, and the climax didn't exist. Not a good first impression. Second Maverick I'm going after is Metal Crocodile, 18 play, score of 3. Feel free to ask me questions on other things. I mean, so far from the first 2 levels, based on the first 2 levels, this is not very promising. Pretty much all the level packs I played for the past few months were better. And that's not really saying much for one of them. If these stages in this pack continue to have the same issues, I won't repeat them until the end. And at least this is using the mechanic more often. Alright, this is just trollish. Yeah, it's the amount of spear. I wasn't paying attention. Of course, I could just use Wheel Cutter, but I'm not gonna risk it. Instead, I'll just fall into Spike. Another suggestion, please put a checkpoint after the teleporter, so after restart the stage, we don't have to recollect that thing. All the other level packs I played beforehand have done that. If anything, so far in terms of convenience, this level pack is kind of 1 or 2 years behind. And remember, even if I don't publicly post these, they're still unlisted and you're part of the Discord server, so you should be able to access it. The more I play through these level packs, the harsher I feel like I'm getting, because I'm seeing the same issues over and over. This needed better introductions. At least this is trying to use its mechanics more, unlike the previous stage which was barren. See, it's not just I'm curious something. Hang on. Nope, can't quite reach it. It's not just because of the lower quality of this pack, it's also because I've seen similar issues in the previous packs by the same author. When the same suggestions still keep applying, then it becomes an issue. I mean, the bosses are still fine, I guess, but they were fine in the past too. It may not be as barren as some of the earlier Mega Man Unknown level packs. This jump is going to be another pain because of positioning. Oh, and because one of them despawned. Gee, tanks. But what is this even designed? Who is this designed for anyways outside the author? I have ranted before about the levels in the most popular queue being mostly barren, but even most of them actually have more proverbial meat to them. And at least even with the same authors, I can apply different criticisms. Okay, you spawned incorrectly. Kinda scary. This sort of works as a climax because magpies were there, but we probably should have the conveyors involved somehow. Automatically disappeared in the previous stage. Should have been a bit longer, but due to the increased difficulty, it works better. Let's do this again. I think this has 2 phases, so I need to be careful. No, 1 phase, thankfully. Hey, Nuthouse. Unfortunately, I don't call his levels okay. They're subpar at best. bad to subpar, unfortunately, because they're too barren. Previous state is this considered to be bad or subpar. This is subpar. Hey, Shinro. Hey, Nuthouse. Using RNG, Maverick number 3 is Force Scorpion at the Sandy Highway. 14 plays, score -4. That's neat. I'm trying my best not to be extremely harsh, but after seeing the same things, same problems for 6 or 7 different level packs, I understand the games having trademark styles, and companies having the same, but even if you have trademark styles, at least you should try experimenting or have different strengths or weaknesses. Even in different Mega Man Classic games all have their strengths and weaknesses. I just want to see some better levels out there. And what makes me kind of disappointed is that compared to all the other level designers and level packs, they've improved the least. It's back to the first stage, more on the line. With Metal Crocodile we had more gimmicks. This one is more barren like Thundershock Wasp. Just filled with terrain and enemies. And not really that interesting terrain either. Any comments for this stage, people? I don't really have any. We didn't even have a mini-boss. Yeah, it did feel like an inter stage, but we already had an inter stage, so... I guess the boss is somewhat interesting. This feels like just someone's first stage. That's why I got a negative score. I want to repeat, I really don't want to be too harsh, but after seeing so many of the similar issues with the same level packs and the same author, I feel less mercy. I want to see improvements, but if I keep seeing the same problems, I'm gonna start being less kind to them. Maverick number 4 is Scorching Sheep at the Volcanic Factory. 22 plays, score 6. Anyways, if I see the same issues, I'll just give my overview when I get to the end. Just before the Maverick, just before the Fortress stage, and at the end. The one thing that is fun about this, somewhat, is the boss battles. That's it, really. And this to some extent because the level design is actually somewhat interesting. Oh, that's actually Bottomless Pit. See? Now the terrain's actually being varied up more. What's going on? That was strange. See, where was this sort of terrain in the previous stage? Even though it doesn't have enemies, we have to navigate around it. I actually would have preferred there being some enemies, but I guess this works. That's fine, I suppose, Snivy, but Several other level packs which are better do the same. So that's really a low bar to fill. This will be another example of what not to do in a level pack. In this case, the levels being way too barren. Not this one so much. See, this one and Metal Crocodile are already better than the rest of the pack so far. But, again, not by much. I think it's more I think it looks that way, Jaden, because of the limitations of the Wii. If you play it on an emulator, it looks far better with upscaling. Much, much better. Ah, close one. We're out of here. The full potential of the graphics in the Galaxy games is held back by the system. My sentiments exactly, not house. You aren't missing really anything, YouTube. Feel free to skip the stream. Okay. Maverick number 5 is Crystal Scarab in the Crystal Mines. 11 plays and score 4. Let's see, people who can make better level packs. Daibu Man, Official Meme Guy, Nuthouse for decent, Snivy for good levels as well, and a few others whose name Genok for decent, Lepatio for really difficult, okay to decent stages. All these level designers are better than this. Even your levels, Shidro, are better. I wouldn't consider them to be good, but at the very least you're trying to do something. Well, maybe except a few people, but other than that, pretty much all the level designers. I mean, even in the original pack, I'd say your levels are decent quality. Whoops, I didn't see I got blocked. That's alright, I won't take it again. I'm fine. I mean, you went to the trouble of actually putting in some nice slice of life for handy features for testing out your weapons. Time saving, that's what I was looking for. Happy New Year, Dada! Thankfully, the next level pack I'll be playing is by, I think, Lunar Chris. I have decent hopes for that. Well, Lepatio's level designs have their own issues. They've been getting better, though. Their levels involve less unrelated junk or stuff. Maybe not junk is the right way to say it. A lot less unrelated stuff, but they kind of... I see. Go up then. They don't really include as much unrelated stuff, but they tend to go on for a bit too long. Not to the extent of Jedok, but to some extent. And their levels tend to explode in difficulty really quickly, especially with the normal hard and hard stages. Maybe in the regular stages as well, but it's especially noticeable during the Fortress levels. And they tend to be rather punishing, in the sense that if you make a single mistake, you're dead. Thankfully, they have pretty good checkpoint placement, placing it everywhere, but it's certainly designed for somewhat skilled to skilled Mega Man Maker players. I would outright say that several of the stages are Diet Kaizo or approaching Diet Kaizo. But even then, I still enjoy it more than this. They actually try challenging the player. Or actually try doing something. Oh yeah, also level cohesion has some issues too. They feel more like... Whereas many of these levels in the level packs feel more like actual places, Lopatin's levels feel more like playgrounds or battle arenas. They feel like less like actual locations and more like gamey environments or jungle gyms to go through. And I understand why people may dislike playing it, but to me at least, I enjoy most of Lopatin's levels. You are allowed top for the evening streams. You were far eviler in the past Patio, when your level designs had more unrelated stuff and checkpoint density was far less kind. Level packs are basically a collection of levels which follow a certain theme or a certain series. In this case, this level pack consists of an intro stage, 8 Mavericks, and the Fortress levels. The reason why you want a level pack is so you can have basically continuity, like by defeating an RM or Maverick or whatever in one stage, you can carry over the special weapon to the next set of stages, and so on and so forth, so you can mimic progression. Same with the E&M tanks. I do have some criticisms for some of the patio stages, but for the most part, I actually find them enjoyable to play. Although, I'd recommend you play it with the Racing Edition. Ah yes, Wizard. Oh, that would be perfect, Snivy. Going from the nice to jerkish and less. You know, there is that one person whose name I forget. Let me check. Who is the guy that had the damage boosting levels? Oh yeah, don't forget Module 2. They're fine. I miss Crowbeat, they were also decent. Sean Williams, you're right. Meanwhile, with Sean Williams, most of the levels are damage boosting levels, so unlike most level packs and levels, you actually have to modulate how much damage you take and so on and so forth, and you're expected to do a lot of quick resets. It is interesting comparing level design philosophies. Like yours, Data, you tend to redux levels in mini forms, or combine different sections. The closest person I'd say to Snivy in terms of level design philosophies would be Kung Fu Cutsman. Yeah, minimize and know when to take it. Anyways, back to adventure. Maverick numbers... Anyways, back to adventure. Maverick number 6 is Optic Orchard in the Unknown Forest, 18 play, score of 2. Same here, Jaden. I actually like the characters in The Wizard and the Slug quite a bit. It's a mixture of both silly and not so silly stuff. It kinda reminds me of a Kirby game in a way. As everything not involving Root, the Harpies, and the Wizards tends to be on the silly side. To put it another way, it feels like the game takes place in the Kirby universe, or adjacent to it. That's why I expected the final boss to be a cosmic horror, but that didn't quite happen. I honestly feel that The Wizard and the Slug would be better if it was a visual novel. You're right, because the gameplay, it's too basic, even at the end. It did get a bit interesting at the end, especially with the forced pacifism. The self-enforced pacifism, to be fair. But again, I'd rather be reading it than playing it. It was getting to the point where I found the gameplay to be more of an interruption to the most enjoyable part. Yeah, the dark ending. That's actually one of the things I didn't expect. I thought the way you would achieve the dark ending would be the opposite of the black. Basically, I thought the way you would reach the gray ending would be the way you would actually get the black ending, and vice versa. Like, I thought in order to get the black ending, you had to betray Charm, but in fact, you had to help her. That's the one thing I didn't expect. Excuse me while I deal with this. Once again, better for X. Something else I find interesting is that the white ending doesn't necessarily feel like the best ending. The gray ending actually feels like the best ending. On the other hand, the white ending seems like it best fits as a continuation into The Wizard and the Comet. Let's run it again. You know, we've talked a lot about Smelter and it deserving more attention, but there's another game which I enjoyed quite a bit on the channel, which is getting a lot of time in the spotlight. A rather famous indie game by this point now. Charm is a girl. Not Cyber Shadow. I am referring to Wildermyth. It's getting a lot of good press. And we're out of here. Far more than I actually expected for an indie game of that size. Somewhat more challenging, but Maverick number 7, Frost Kraken at the Arctic Base, 11 plays, score 6. See for example at Massively, Adam Millard, and various other sites. It's getting a lot of time in the spotlight, or more so for an indie game of its caliber, especially due to its melding of traditional and procedure-generated storytelling. I need to get back to the game, especially with the 5th and final campaign being released. Let me correct myself, the 5th campaign being released against the Draven, and the Draven rework, and the Death Squads. So I need to get back to it. I mean, it also has co-op multiplayer now. Not quite, but we will have some other people coming in. Especially considering the final campaign has some tricks. See enemy death squads. So I don't want to accidentally make the game too difficult by introducing too many legacy heroes. Oh, why was there an ice wall there anyways? You can just backtrack and get it anyways. That feels like an oversight. A Jorver will be coming back soon when I get back to Wildermyth. Remember, if you have Wildermyth as well, we can play co-op. True that, Data. What bosses do I expect from Mega Man Base 1.8? Probably Dynamo Man. Probably Dynamo Man. Maybe Tengu Man and Astro Man. Well, we already have Astro. Perhaps Tengu Man. Cold Man, maybe? Nah, we already have him. At the very least, Dynamo Man. At the very least, we're gonna have Dynamo Man. Perhaps... I think we're gonna have Magic Man as well. At least those two. I'd like to see Pirate. No, it's not to the point where it thumbs it up. Maverick number 8. Acid Swamptoad-Military Base. 11 plays, score 0. It's not like the stages are difficult to the point where I need these special weapons anyways. Whoops. Thank you, mouse. Hang on. Give me a moment. Oh good, it was start out. Excellent. One sec, I need to check something. Well, they've been eliminated. Anyways, let's do this again. You didn't really miss much, other than me dying and me terminating a spam bot. That's excellent. I mean, I have a way I can play... If you really want, I can find a way to play that game, Demon's Turf. Who's making them? this sort of jump. Even when it tries to introduce mechanics, this level pack has a habit of just placing it over hazardous environments, aka not introducing them in controlled environments. And my roll didn't go, thank you. Still... Inscription is also on the top of many lists. Two, one, go. 2, 1. Oh, would you look at that? Some interesting challenges, which only get introduced in one screen and elaborated on 2 screens before ending the stage. Also, why did only one of the stages have a mini-boss battle? It just felt so out of place compared to everything else. Oh. Oh no. Toad? Let's try it again. Not really YouTube, that didn't have great design. Pretty much all the stages in 2 had rudimentary design. Again, part of the reason was because the game was rushed. I didn't actually realize it until recently, but the developers basically had to beg Capcom in order to make 2, and it was rushed, like 7. Here's one way to make Toadman tougher, because I'm playing his role. But not too tough. Good, no crushing. Well, that's all the Maverick stages done. 2 of them stood out to me, those being Thundershock Wasp and I think it was Scorching Sheep or Force Scorpion. The rest are just very forgettable and suffer from the same problem that Mega Man Unknown suffered from. Anyways, let me take a short pause and then I'll continue. Nezumi Man is kind of an older title. It's a Mega Man inspired freeware game. Basically, it's like Roku-chan. Toadman's fight was a bit more difficult, but... yeah, the main problem with Toadman is how exploitable his AI is. If you keep shooting at him like that, he'll either just jump over you, or if you time it right, he'll just keep trying to do his rain dance attack ad infinitum, so super easy. He really needed a different attack, or be less AI exploitable. Anyways, only 4 more stages left. It's time to enter the Sigma Fortress stages, starting off by going after Vile. 25 plays, score 7. Don't forget the 4 E's. Eventually I'll get the Slime Rancher. I have it on EGS. EGS being Epic Game Store. Oh, by the way, if you have any suggestions of any game within $5 on Steam, let me know. Wait, it's you two. Are we having rematches now? Well, I don't mind it. And they drop Yashishis. That's excessive. We really don't need them to drop Yashishis by this point. Quick man. Goodbye. Hi, Vile. I'll fight you the fair way. When you don't want to fight quick, man. Two per stage, I suppose. Yeah, this time he's remotely controlling his ride armor. So, yeah, this was a fortress stage. It reused one of the mechanics from, I think, the electric stage. I don't know which one it is. Next up, the Telemaster. 15 plays, score 5. Yeah, a remotely controlled robot. Not the worst gift. It's actually not too shabby. Too bad it's stuck in this pack. So now we're in the computer systems, or whatever this thing is. Where all the mainframes are, I suppose. I don't know, I'm running out of things to talk about. You're weak to bubbles? Well, it's acidic bubbles, so I guess it makes sense. Or it's salt water. Of course, phase 2. It is futuristic, but I don't remember her having a lightsaber. And she isn't a cyborg. But I did cover it on the channel. You'll see it on the list of keys, don't worry. Weren't you the first boss I fought? You don't like ice? Well, I guess it makes sense. This is the ice section. We didn't need 2 Yashishis. Here's the Telemaster. What happened to the big tail? Oh, I see. I was gonna ask what happened to the big tellies, but every time he stomps the ground, they respawn. Too bad I'm playing his role, so he got demolished. It's bargain big, Rotoman. Next up is the Bomb Maniac. 23 play, score 7. Seriously, Sigma's losing... Seriously, Sigma's really having to look forward. Really trying to dig the bottom of the barrel for these RMs and Mavericks. We started with Vile, then a Telemaster. Now we have a Maniac throwing bombs. What's next? A delivery guy? Cut man? Okay, fine, we'll fight you fair. Did you really need to take that much damage from this? It seems rather excessive. Greek has been doing pretty well, but I haven't been having that much. I haven't really noticed that much on the smaller indie games I've been playing. Cyclone I may get to eventually too. It's done okay, I guess. It was already a niche of a niche anyways. Huh. Oh yeah. Glad they kept that. If that's not the... Oh, okay. Oh look, the best used mechanic in this pack. Surprising, only see 1 use. I'm okay with 1 use in this stage because it's Fortress, but even then the Fortress is still way too short and... I'll save it for later. Ah, that's the opposite of what you expect. Wait, Thunder? This really should have had a ceiling, otherwise it makes this fight too easy. Hi there, Bombing Maniac. Stay close to him so he'll never throw a bomb. How to manipulate Bombman's AI in Mega Man Maker 101. Not really Smelter. Smelter has been doing decently, but it's mostly been kind of buried. And I understand why. It has some... It did make a splash, but compared to stuff like Wildermyth or Cyber Shadow, it's mostly been buried. It was successful for X+, but, you know. So last but not least, Final Sigma. The boss is obviously Sigma. 18 plays, score 7. Ah, you know what. As always, Roll will just clean up the mess. Oh yeah. I would like to eventually get back up there. Timing. I keep getting knocked around. Okay, phase 1. I wonder... Come closer, Woodman. A bit closer, please. One more. Thank you. That's the easy button. Disappointingly, no third phase. In fact, this phase was easy and easier than the first one, even if you decided to go up there. Okay, so this marks the end of Mmxmm. A rather disappointing level pack. To put it bluntly, this is subpar at best, and calling it subpar at best is really stretching it. Really, for the most part of it, this was just boring and bland. Bad to subpar. This basically suffers from the same issues that Mega Man Unknown suffered from months ago. Essentially, elements are introduced sometimes, and most of the time when they're introduced, sometimes they're not introduced in isolated environments. They may or may not be used in the stage and escalated on, and typically there's barely a climax, if any. And because of it, stages just blend in with each other outside of the graphics and music. Even the graphics tend to be only 1 or 2 tile sets and not really mesh together well. And stages are just way too short, not having enough time to actually elaborate on the mechanics, typically. The best stages here were Metal Crocodile, Thundershock, were Metal Crocodile, and Scorching Sheep. The rest were just forgettable. I call them the best, but really, it's marginally so. They're just subpar. What makes me more annoyed here is that we've given the same criticism and suggestions all the way back from a few months, and they still haven't been applied, even with this different setting. It is a bit marginally better. The bosses are the best part of this, but really, it feels the same as playing MMU 10 or 9 or 8. Just with a new coat of paint and better music. Really, it's just super forgettable, and I'd advise you skip over this. Even if you decide to play it, it's not really that difficult. I recommend looking at the level packs made by Nuthouse, Snivy, Daibuman, Kung Fu Katsman, Jedok, or even Lapatio for suggestions, because right now I don't know who this is for. I understand if you had fun making this, more power to you, but from a player-centric perspective, I don't really see a reason to play this. especially as a level pack. It just bores me, and I simply went through the motions for the most part. Every single level can be improved by improving the introductions, actually elaborating on the mechanics and focusing on them, and ending with a climax. That's the thing you really should be doing. Make it so that each stage focuses on a specific set of elements, focus on them specifically, escalate them, and that way your levels will actually have some meaning, some stand up. Or even sheet roll, that works too. Ending was rather anticlimactic. So this marks the end of the stream. Next week, I'll be covering the level pack, I think by Chris or someone else. I'll double check. The sad thing is, I want to be nicer, which I have been, but unfortunately this advice has not been getting true. Of all the level designers I've played levels from, they've been improving the least. One of the least. Alright then, I'll see you all Saturday morning. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.